Dusty, all right. Let's hear some thoughts, ideas. My son had an English teacher who would always ask after she said something, she would say, any thoughts, ideas, or snap remarks? And he said, I gave her a snap remark once and I wish I hadn't. Anybody want to speak? Yes, ma'am? Let's see if we can do without.
Okay.
Speak up, okay?
Okay. Well, last time we said there's a 4% difference between, was it primates, monkeys and all those, that group?
Right.
And humans, there's a 4% difference.
Right.
And people say, well, that's not very much difference. But that represents 120 million differences.
Yes, it does, because it's 3.5 billion pairs. But furthermore than that, if they really study their science, they'll find out that that's not the right number. You're talking about from chimpanzees to humans. There's like 96% correlation in DNA. It's not true. That was 96% of the DNA coding. Okay, that's a very small percentage of it. As they find the other functions of the other base pairs, they find out that it's in the 60s and 70s. They're the same. And why wouldn't they be the same? As I said before, they look like us, they walk like us somewhat. We can't climb a tree like they can. And they're a lot stronger than we are, but they basically function the same way we do. So their DNA would be the same, or close to it. Yeah, Bill.
Well, I don't have a perfect memory on all the points as we went through, so I'll just go with the last one about Bill Gates and comparing it to computer programs in complexity. And I would only say that if it were all designed by a God, I can't imagine why he would not have made it a little more perfect than he did, because any computer software that regularly turned up bugs in the system, like
Most computer software
DNA does,
Yeah.
with birth defects of all sorts and everything, would certainly be rejected and recalled by the software company right away and fix that.
Okay.
And so if God did it, I can't imagine why we would have had to have that.
I understand.
It would have been bug-free to start with.
I understand. Sharon?
I'd like to answer that. In the beginning, when he created us, when he created man, he created woman, he created them perfectly. And then sin came into our lives, and that's when we started getting the bugs and the differences. So that's the answer to that.
So
Well,
after Eve spit the apple of sin, then God decided, okay, I'm going to throw in some bugs in the system.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's a fallen world. Look,
Yeah.
look, Bill, I understand what you're saying, okay? From a perspective of someone who does not have a belief in what the Bible teaches, I would say the same thing you said.
Yeah.
Because you said, well, God was perfect. If God is perfect, why wouldn't he make us perfect? Okay? But the theology that all devout, Bible-believing Christians understand is, it goes back to this old idea that would you want to live in a world where everything was perfect? Now, what I mean by that, everybody is perfect. And everybody does exactly what's right and good all the time, and God tells them how to do it, and that's how they do it. Everybody, it's like a big party all the time. And would that really be something, you want somebody to tell you what to do, or do you want to make your own decision?
Well, you would still always have the option, if you had free will, to take a chance. You could take a chance on a gamble, and people like
Not
to
if you
gamble.
were perfect.
People like to gamble, and part of the reward of that is the thrill of success in beating the risk of failure.
Right.
And so, yeah, given my choice, I'd take the perfect world where if I had the choice, I would never get accidentally, by chance, get cancer or this or that or whatever. But if on occasion I wanted an extra thrill in my life, I'd take a roller coaster ride that hadn't been inspected, and that would be my choice.
But what
If I
you're
want
talking about-
those thrills,
what you're talking
but
about,
I
if
would
you're a
rather
perfect-
not have those thrills.
If you're a perfect human being, you're not going to worry about any of that. As a matter of fact, you do exactly what everybody else did, because everything else would be right, same thing you did. There wouldn't be differences. God made us different. He allowed us to make a decision. He gave us a freedom of choice. You're talking about a world where there is no freedom of choice.
No, there's freedom of choice. If I want some thrill and chance of risk, I can play Russian roulette.
But what if
and
God,
see whether it
the
works.
God who made you perfect said, no, Russian roulette is wrong, you're not gonna do that because you're perfect.
Well, that's
No,
mind
if you said,
control.
would you want to live in a
Of course it is, and that's how God did it.
He was talking about bodies.
That's your version.
God wants people,
My
God,
version
the
of
God of the
perfect.
Bible, the God of Christianity, okay, and I can only speak to that God, because I'm not somebody else, loves us, wants fellowship with us, he wants us to love him. You have to have a choice, okay? If
Okay,
you're
so-
perfect, you're gonna love him.
That's your religion sticking in, but
Yeah.
you were using this, the DNA stuff, and the software comment that Bill Gates made and everything else, as proof that evolution is not true. And I'm simply making the argument, whether or not there's a God, I don't know. But this evidence, and the talk about the complexity of the software, is not proof that evolution is wrong.
Okay,
And I've
I would
explained-
take the word proof and agree with you that nobody can prove something that nobody ever saw and nobody ever witnessed. So true, you can't prove there's a God, and you can't prove evolution is false, you can't prove that it's true. They've tried, but the preponderance of evidence says it's not. That's my point.
And it's not even scientific evidence that evolution is wrong, because, and that God created it.
I
because
think
He did.
statistics and probabilities is
When
a
your only
scientific.
explanation is not scientific, but your only explanation is religious, that in the Garden of Eden, the sin caused them to make the DNA have some bugs. Well, that's no scientific explanation.
No, of
as
course
to-
not.
as to
I'm
why-
not trying to, oh, God is not a scientific explanation, Bill, because the definition of science has to do with the material and physical world. God can't exist in science. They've taken him out of
But
science.
science and evolution does explain why we have those bugs.
It doesn't.
Why we have birth
It doesn't
defects.
explain it.
Why we have-
It's a story about that you come up with that you think is true. There's no explanation to it on a proof, evidence basis. You can say, well, this happened. There's a lot of stuff that disproves what people say about
The
evolution.
scientific evidence of evolution is that by chance there are malfunctions in the combining of the DNA strands.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And that's scientifically proven that happens.
That has nothing to
And
do with
sometimes it
evolution.
results, and sometimes it results in an improvement, sometimes it results in cancer or a birth defect.
0.0000, probably, I don't know how many zeros, 0.1 have beneficial mutations. Beneficial mutations to humans or any animal that bring about increase in genetic information is 0. Never been seen, never been proven. Yeah.
May I say something first? I apologize, because he was answering what I said. What you asked was, why would a God make somebody that was imperfect? And what I answered you was, God made us perfect. Then things changed. That was my answer to what you said. Why did God make things imperfect? Okay, go ahead.
Yes, sir. What's your name?
Will,
Will, I've heard you.
I'm going to take a little different track. Very nice presentation.
Thank you.
I like to study DNA, and I'm just going to say a comment. Software is not a living organism, and and we're spiritual beings living a human life. So there's
Can I make a comment about that statement? Okay. The evolutionary viewpoint says that all life, all things, everything came from inanimate physical matter that wasn't life. So it's a statement that we're life, human beings, that doesn't explain anything. But how do we become human beings in life? How do we become, how did life begin?
yeah. I'm going to get to
All right,
that
go
a little
ahead.
bit. You know,
If you get to that, you'll be the only one in the world.
No, I'm
Go
going to
ahead.
cite some sources and I'm going to go back and reread these sources because, like I say, I'm an electrical engineer and I study